Good morning, guys. This is Matt in the Man Cave with my beautiful princess wife, Tracey from
Esther
Esther 414
414
Ministries.
Ministries.
Hey, go ahead and put this on hold and grab your coffee.
Coffee
We
in
have
hand.
coffee in hand. Let's ting it. One ting. Boom. Drinking
I'm shaking
coffee,
it. Do you hear it?
living
Do
the
you hear it?
life. Today's going to be an
Yes.
excellent day
Sip
for
of
you,
coffee.
and we're grateful and thankful that you are listening, spending a few minutes of your day. This is a great devotion. This just came to me this morning while I was reading. I was in the book of Daniel. Tracy doesn't even know what we're talking about. That's
No,
how
I
she
do
rolls
not.
with it. In chapter 4 of the book of Daniel, you have Nebuchadnezzar. At that time, he was the king of all kings.
Yeah.
He was the world leader. I mean, he was
Yeah.
doing it. And he has this terrible dream. He doesn't understand it. He hooks up with Daniel,
Uh-huh.
and Daniel basically doesn't want to interpret the dream. And even King Nebuchadnezzar says, Daniel, don't let this trouble you. Just tell me, what does it mean?
Yeah.
And basically, it's about this ginormous tree, and and the tree represents Babylon, and it's like it kind of like when we look at the same story in Revelation in chapter 18 where America is Babylon, but in Daniel 4, it's talking about you're the king. Everything is under you. It's talking about the commerce. It's talking about the economy. It's talking
Yeah.
about his power,
Yeah.
but it's also talking about his pride.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Daniel says, "Hey, look it. Here's what that tree's going to be chopped down. Bands are going to be put around the tree that was in the dream." And Daniel's just sideways. He says, "Let this be to your enemies. Don't let this be to you. Humble yourself before the Lord,
Yeah.
and maybe it won't be as bad.
Yeah.
Maybe He will lessen the load." But if you could read for me just verse 33.
33.
Because here's the thing. He gets the warning,
Yeah.
and I've been warned. Have you been warned by God?
Yeah.
How many times have I been given a second chance?
We can't even count them.
Yeah, you and me both,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So a year goes by. He's given a warning, but sometimes when we're given a warning and we don't see anything, that we just continue
We
doing.
forget about it.
We forget about
Yeah,
we
it's just-
sometimes we may hearken unto God for a week or a month, but then we
Yeah.
slip back into
Yeah.
what we were doing.
Yes.
And
yes.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. Take the burden
Yeah.
off of you guys listening. That has happened to me many times.
Yeah.
Okay, verse 33. Read
Okay.
that.
Chapter 4, verse 33 of Daniel.
Just 33.
Just 33. Immediately, what had been said about Nebuchadnezzar was fulfilled. He was driven away from people and ate grass like the ox. His body was drenched with the dew of heaven until his hair grew like the feathers of an eagle and his nails like the claws of a bird.
So what's taken place? A year has gone by since Daniel's
Yeah.
talked to him. He's on the portico. I like that word. Basically,
like
the
the roof,
balcony of
yeah.
his palace, and he's looking over all of Babylon. He says, "Is this
Yeah.
not the Babylon that I, Nebuchadnezzar, have made?"
Yeah.
And it's just this big, prideful statement. A voice from heaven says,
Oh my goodness. In verse 31 it says, even as the words were on his lips.
So a year has gone by. He's walking
Yeah.
in the portico. He doesn't hearken, or if he did
No.
hearken, it wasn't very long.
Yeah.
And now, for the next 7 years, and I've
Yeah.
often said this, and people don't understand this, when God is correcting us, He has decided a length of time.
Yes.
Okay, because I think sometimes we think, well, if I get in trouble with the Lord, I'm just going to repent real quick and get it right. No,
Yeah.
no. You will get it right.
Yeah.
But God has determined a predetermined amount of time.
And I've learned this in my life too, where God will give the warning. He will warn us. He'll warn me, whatever it might
We don't
be.
think He's serious.
Well, no. And
I mean, honestly, a lot of people don't know God, so they don't think He's serious.
Or you think, well, that's not God.
Yeah.
Or you forget about the warning.
Uh-huh.
And then if you continue to proceed down the wrong road,
Yep.
he'll it's like, okay.
All right.
But he'll let you go into that storm, and you have to go all the way through that
for
storm.
a predetermined length of time. Even
If-
if the second day, let's say Nebuchadnezzar, he realizes, oh, I'm like an animal now. I'm crawling around on all fours. Ruff, 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 ruff.
How?
Look at. What if he repented the second day?
How-
God determined 7 years, because 7 in the Bible refers to completion, perfection.
And-
He's having to do a work in Nebuchadnezzar.
Let's go one step further, though.
Go further, baby.
He could not open his eyes because God allows you to be blinded in that storm. You're
Yeah.
not realizing it
Yeah,
normally.
you don't realize what's
You
happening.
do not, and you just blasting through normally.
Yeah.
And then even
Now, like, go ahead.
well, okay, and
Even now, there's people listening to us. I've heard this story before.
uh-huh.
You're blinded, friend, because
Yeah.
where I'm going isn't this story. This story has nothing to do with where I'm going. But a person, that's how blinding is. I've heard
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah.
I understand. God warns. Okay, I
Yeah.
need to hearken to the warning. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
Matt. Here's your thumbs up. Here's your comment. No, you've missed the whole story.
And okay, now I'll throw you a bone on that
Throw
one
me a
though,
bone.
because I remember
Throw me a big bone.
I remember one time
Woof, woof.
when we were supposed to go one extra year to the Bible college we were going to,
Yeah.
and we didn't.
And we decided to go to
We
seminary.
decided to go seminary, and I was blinded, and
Yeah.
and we start as soon as we are driving there, it was
We
like
knew we had made a mistake.
because it took
We-
us 4 hours longer to get to the place
Yeah.
that we were
And
going
spiritually
to.
speaking,
Yeah.
we could feel it. Okay.
Yeah,
Go
but-
to
Okay,
7 years has gone by. Go to verse 34.
but we weren't allowed to turn around at that point.
No.
The decision
God
had
had
been made.
it already.
Yeah.
We had already gone
It was
into
all,
it.
yeah, it was
There's
one
a
year.
point where, and we don't know where. Here's the thing. There's a point where God's long suffering ends.
Mhm.
Now, even as a Christian, his long suffering still ends, and now he's in. Okay,
Correction.
I'm going to correct.
Yeah.
My mercy has been exhausted, but even in
Yeah.
his long suffering,
Yeah.
in waiting, he's extending his mercy. But
Yeah.
he's going to now put us in a classroom for
Mm.
2 years. I mean, most of the time when God puts us in a classroom, it's
That one
because
was a
we've been
year.
stubborn. We're
Yeah.
not listening. We're
Yeah.
demanding our own rights,
Yeah.
and we think it's going to be what we think, and it's never like that. God wipes people out in the classroom, by the way.
I'm going to throw one more little thing in there.
Yes.
Sorry about this.
But do you
Another-
agree? When God puts
Yes.
you in the classroom, He has
Oh.
to strip everything from you.
Yeah.
And that could be relationships, that could be houses, that could be your portfolio, your
Mm.
401k, that could be your job, that could be your health. When you
Mm.
finally make it to the classroom, it's because you've ignored God.
Yeah.
And you've decided you knew better than God. God could point blank, He won't do this, but He could yank you up to heaven and said, I warned you here. I warned you here. I
Yeah.
warned you here. I warned you here.
Yeah. and-
He could tell us all the times He warned us and how you spurned me. You grieved and quenched
Mhm.
my spirit. You ignored me. And now I'm
Mhm.
going to bust you down. I'm busting you down a rank.
Now, one more quick little thing that I've
Give it to
noticed.
me.
That from the time that you start becoming a Christian until you keep on maturing, I've noticed that those times of learning when you're going through a storm
Yeah.
go longer and longer the more mature you get. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like going from like a pop quiz in the class where
Yeah.
it's just like a couple minutes
Yeah.
to a test.
So really,
to
it depends
the
on the
big
person
test, to the
listening.
final
How long
exam,
have
yeah.
you walked with the Lord?
Yeah.
Because if you've
yeah.
walked with the Lord for any length of time, you shouldn't be acting this way. You
Yeah.
should be like, He's God, I'm not. He said no.
Yeah.
I need to hearken.
I need to listen.
Okay, I
Yeah,
need you to read for
Verse 34, right?
me. Yeah. 7 years has gone by.
Yeah.
So this guy has been a freak. There's no other
Been
way
an
to put it.
animal, yeah.
He's a freak. He's a
Living
freak
like
of
an
nature.
animal, yeah.
You know what else goes on here? He's
Oh.
eating the grass.
Yeah.
Do you know you and I can't eat grass? A cow can eat grass because their internal organs
Yeah, their
can
digestive system
yeah,
is different.
it's so different. So
Yeah.
this, even in and of itself, is a miracle for him to be able to digest
Yeah.
grass.
Yeah.
Humans can't eat straight grass. It's impossible. All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Verse 34, chapter 4. At the end of that time, at the end of 7 years, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eyes toward heaven, and my sanity was restored.
Mm.
Then I praised the Most High. I honored and glorified him who lives forever. I think that some versions might say that I came back to my senses.
Yeah.
He
I
returned
came
to my
back to my
senses.
senses. Keep on reading.
Okay. His dominion is an eternal dominion. His kingdom endures from generation to generation.
Mm.
Did you just want 34? Or do you want me to keep on going?
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he does according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and
Mm.
the inhabitants of the and none can stay his hand and say unto him, What does thou?
Or my version says, "What have you done?"
Yeah. At the same time, my reason returned unto me, and for the glory of my kingdom, my honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and lords sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. Now, I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride he is able to abase. Now, he's had this great adjustment
Yeah.
in his life.
Yeah, big attitude adjustment.
Okay? He'll never forget this.
Oh,
That's a
no.
7-year of being an animal, suffering. I mean, and he suffered.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? All the things that were added back to him were taken from him. All those things.
Yeah.
He no longer was king during that time.
No.
I mean, there was and when you look at the historical records, what you're going to find is there was a 7-year period where nothing was written about Nebuchadnezzar. The books go cold. It's amazing. Literally. So we know when this happened. I mean, I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm talking about the archives of the Babylonian books that they have. When they're writing about this king, there's a 7-year period where nothing was written. Up until that point, just loads of crap were written. You know what I mean? But then, so what does he do? Here's where I was going. What does he do? Now, with the knowledge that God has taught him, okay, and the wisdom God has gave him, he lives his life. See, there's a point in time. Now watch this.
But he glorifies God.
Yeah, he glorifies God. There's a point in time with all of us that we've gone to the classroom the last time. That God has, he'll continue to teach you in life, but you're not going to the classroom per se in this manner.
Yeah.
Meaning now it's a time where you realize God's not going to put up with this. I'm not going to do with this. Okay.
Yeah.
And you start to actually live your life, live out your days in a manner, in a way that glorifies God. That's amazing. Because, now watch this. Here's where I'm going. The very next chapter, see, there's between chapter 4 and chapter 5, there's a slew of years. Some people say 30 years. So for 20, 30, you know, no one can give you an exact time. There's this amount of time where Nebuchadnezzar, under his new understanding of who God is, okay, walks humbly before the Lord, lives out his days on earth. That's what a lot of people want. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people like you and me and Christians, we want to live in ease, comfort, pleasure, enjoy, you know, and that rarely happens. There's always storms. But now we're in chapter 5, and we have Belshazzar.
Ooh.
And what Belshazzar is doing is he's not humbling himself before God. And he's gotten all these vessels out of the treasury, which were the vessels, drinking vessels, that were in the temple of God. And basically the whores, the prostitutes, he's having a rage. He's having this huge party. They're all drinking and they're praising the gods of gold, wood, silver, sex, power.
He's boasting, basically.
He's boasting. Look at me. Look at all I have.
Look at all this gold.
And then all of a sudden there's a hand on the wall and it's writing. And basically, if you look at the original language, he pissed himself. He lost it. He crapped himself. He pissed himself. None of his so-called counselors can interpret what this means.
This is where the saying came from, writing on the
wall.
Can you see the writing on the wall?
Can you see the writing on the wall? And the writing was meeny, meeny, tinkle, upharsin. Now Daniel comes along and he tells him, you know what he says? He says, you should know better because of Nebuchadnezzar. You literally. You know what I'm saying? Nebuchadnezzar is humbled. He learns. He has humility. He's restored. Belshazzar, in contrast, repeats his predecessor's sins and meets a swift downfall. I mean, you know, when you look at meeny, meeny, tinkle, upharsin, it means this. You have been tried. You have been weighed. You have been found wanting. This, and can you imagine, this is Daniel. This very day, you're going to lose your life. Okay? I mean, God's long suffering has ended because what happened to Nebuchadnezzar, because he knew the stories, but he ignored it. He ignored all those things. And sometimes we don't get the 7-year classroom experience. Sometimes
Yeah.
we are warned, this is your last day here on earth. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes our warning comes through another person.
Yeah.
Meaning like seeing Nebuchadnezzar and
Yeah.
what happened to
Well,
him.
maybe
and
something,
that was a
you know,
warning that
maybe-
he needed to
Maybe
heed.
something happened in your life and you realized it and you were witnessing it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that would never happen to me.
Yeah, that
But-
could never happen to me.
Yeah, but it's crazy, you know, because
Yeah.
he did not get the 7 years. He had,
No.
I mean, it's crazy because here we have Darius coming in from Persia and Cyrus. And, you know, the
yeah.
fulfillment of Isaiah 45 is fulfilled where I will break open the brass gates. And that night, he lost his life. He literally, and what's funny is, this guy says, I tell you what, if you can interpret my dream, Daniel,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you half the kingdom. You're going to be made number 2. And so Daniel was basically vice president for a matter of 5 to 6 hours.
He's like, you can keep your stuff.
Yeah, Daniel says, I
But
don't
I'll
want your
interpret
gold.
it."
I'll interpret it. And you know what? Daniel rebukes him. He says, you know what? You have not walked humbly before God. You saw what happened to Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah.
You know this is true. And you decided to do this and act arrogantly, knowing all of this. The writing on the wall, here's what it means. Meanie, meanie, tinkle, you farson. You've been weighed. You've been tried. You've come up wanting.
Yeah.
And I also
Not
like the
words you
story.
wanna hear.
No, I also like. Let me just tie this in, and we'll end this. I like the story where Isaiah comes to Hezekiah, and he says, "You're gonna die. You know, you're going to die," and he puts his head against the wall,
Yeah.
and he's lived such a life of righteousness. He starts quoting back to God all the ways he's obeyed God, and he weeps before the Lord. Meaning he had lived a manner in a way of righteous living. You know, he had been doing it right, not perfectly, because none of us are doing it perfectly, but he had been doing it in a manner in a way that brought down the attention of God. And God says to Isaiah, before he's even out of the courtyard, go back and tell him, hey, I'm going to give you 15 more years.
Yeah. Our cat's back. Arturius. He's on Matt's Bible. He wants to
read the Word of God.
He's laying on the Bible now.
He's laying on Daniel right now.
Yeah.
You guys got to see this. Let me see this. There's my cat right
Arturius.
there.
Yep.
You laying on Daniel, buddy?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
laying
say
on the
hello
Word.
to the people. But here's the thing.
Laying on the Word.
In that story, God honors his prayer because he had been living the life.
Yeah.
He could say, God, you know, I did this when you told me to do this, and I did this, and I didn't do this.
Yeah.
But here with Belshazzar, he doesn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, he does. No.
God's very fair. He's very
Yeah.
just. He's very holy.
Yeah.
It's you know, you can't put words in God's mouth what he's going to do with certain people, when he's
Yeah.
going to do it,
Yeah.
how much, because I think everyone thinks they're going to get a second chance
Yeah.
or a third chance. And
Yeah.
friends, as a Christian, yes, you are forgiven. You are literally forgiven, but you have to understand sometimes God, his long suffering ends and he
Yeah.
acts abruptly.
Yeah.
And yes, you're forgiven, but he's going to take you on out of this life.
Yeah.
He's
He's
going
to teach you.
He's going to teach you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It really is
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
I would say, hearken unto the things that
Yeah.
you know God has said.
And
Do
heed
not.
those warnings.
You are dealing with God. You are dealing with the King. You are dealing with majesty. You are a peasant. You are a servant. I mean, you are his creation. You are not God. And I don't know why we ever thought or think we have the right to disobey God, even though we are forgiven. See, the blood in Jesus' life, it gives me time to repent, to say sorry. But there is a point in time when the Heavenly Father, who is teaching me as a child, he gets just tired of it because I'm
Yeah.
rebellious. It doesn't mean I'm lost. It just means, here's the thing, you're fighting me.
Well, it means you're heading down the wrong path, and I'm not going to let you go
I'm
too
not
far.
going to lose you. And we've
Yeah.
seen it. We've seen God take
Yeah.
people right on out of this life.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
he'll
if
grab us
I
by
mean,
the
listen
scruff
to
of
what
the
I'm
neck
about to
and
say.
yank us back.
Sometimes, if they're blessed,
Mhm.
okay, they may go through a 7-year period or a 10-year period in order to get the rebellion out, in order to break you. It's easy for God to get his children out of Egypt. It is not easy for God to get Egypt out of his children. and we
Yeah.
can just fight him the whole way. And then there's a point in time, I mean, there really is, and it's Old Testament, New Testament, where he just takes us out of this life. You're saved, you're going to heaven, but he got tired of fooling with you. I mean, that's terrible, but that's what happened here. Now, neither of these kings, even though you read, 34 through 37 of Daniel 4, you would think, oh my gosh, Nebuchadnezzar, he's a Christian now. He's not. He held to the view of all of the gods. This is just, in his mind, this is just one of the gods that I pissed off. That's what he was thinking. He, you know what I'm saying? And I know not, and he's, when you read that, you would think, oh, he got saved, he got right. He was doing all these wonderful things from here on out. No, he was honoring God, because what offended God was his arrogance and pride. And it's the same with us. You have to realize Satan was thrown out of heaven because of pride, saying, I will ascend, I will be like, I will be above, I will be on the holy mountain with the,
Yes.
Whoo! Scary stuff, baby doll. Scary
Heed
stuff.
those warnings when the Lord brings them around.
Yeah.
Don't dismiss them.
Don't dismiss
He wants
the
to
warning.
bless you.
He does, and I don't know why. I always use this example. When I'm in a pulpit, I'll show them a piece of gravel. I'll show the congregation like a piece of gravel, and I'll put it in my hand, and I'll say, some of you, and I'll just tighten up my fist over that gravel. Some of you are holding on to this piece of gravel, right? And gravel is something we want. Maybe it's sin. Maybe it's a bad relationship. It's something we know we shouldn't have. And I was like, but you don't want to open your hand. You don't want to give God the gravel. But what you don't understand, and then I'll go behind a chair where I put a big rock. And I'll lift this rock that I can barely carry. I mean, a huge, huge rock. Or sometimes I'll even put a rock in there, and 2 or 3 of us will carry it in there and hide it. And we'll have like a something over the rock. And this is what you're missing out as far as weight in blessings. Now, that rock sometimes will crack the stage. It's so big, you know what I'm saying? Or I'll use the illustration with my hands. You're holding on to something this small, and then I'll open up my arms, and God's wanting to do and give you something this big.
Yeah.
But it's a heart condition. We would never think that something so small could keep us from something so big. But what it represents is you have not surrendered to his lordship.
Yeah. And a lot of times we also want to dismiss that this would have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
That they're two completely different things, but yet they are. It's all about your heart condition.
Yeah. It's rebellion within our hearts.
Yeah.
I will live this life, and I know a lot of people. And I'll just say this: a lot of people who don't believe correctly. That's a nice way of saying it. Congratulations to me. Okay. It's scary because they think they're going to serve up something to God, like in a spoon, like I'm giving a scoop of ice cream, and say, here, eat this. My good works, my this, my that, what I've done, who I know, what I'm a part of. And God is not going to accept that. The only thing that's acceptable to God is not you. It's God. The only thing
Through
that's
his son,
acceptable
Jesus Christ.
is the only thing acceptable to God is Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's why I have to be in him. I have to be part of the beloved. When God the Father looks at me, he has to see me through the blood, through the prism of Christ. Then I'm acceptable, because it's the blood that takes away my sins. Christ once and for all. Yeah. But if God is just looking at a person that believes differently, a different religion, he's not looking at them through the prism of Christ.
Yeah.
Through the sacrifice that he provided for us. He provided a way to get to heaven. He's looking at them in their works, in their sin, in their depravity, in the darkness of their heart, and they have no chance of making it to heaven, because we just don't understand who God is. Nor did Nebuchadnezzar, okay? But he found out a little bit. He saw through a glass darkened, but he saw enough. And Belshazzar, he was faced with God that night. Absent from the body, you're present with the Lord. He would have gone straight to hell and eventually pulled out of hell and sentenced to eternity in the lake of fire.
We have to remember that God wants us to have a relationship.
Yes.
Through Jesus Christ with him.
Yes.
And so that way he can bless us. He wants to bless us. And so many times we're wanting to to buy Satan's lies.
Yeah.
You know, that
yeah.
this is better
That
than that.
I can do
It's
this
not,
and God will
yeah.
look the other way. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm guilty. Early on, I was like, I know this is wrong, but I'm forgiven. I'm not
Yes,
going to hell
yeah.
because I choose to do this for my flesh. I'm not going to go to hell. And here's the thing, that is a slippery road, because if you continue going down that road, you'll see that road is very broad,
But
and a lot of people are on that road, and they're all congratulating each other that they're the masters of the universe.
well, also,
That they're go ahead.
well, I was going to say that you say we are forgiven. If you truly are saved, you're forgiven. But what you're doing is you don't realize that there are consequences
Yeah.
to a lot of those decisions, and the Lord will allow them to play
Let
out
me
to
let me put
correct
it.
you.
I'm gonna put it man cave style. Okay.
Go ahead.
We screw ourselves out of God's best.
Yes, we do.
We do. We
Yes,
screw
we
ourselves.
do.
We put the screws to us
Because we bought into Satan's
yeah.
lies.
There's
and we
so
wanted
many
to go
things
with
that
the
we
flesh
want, and the things
and
that you
sin.
want to experience and have and enjoy, it can't be outside of Christ. It can't. It can never. It has to be through God giving that, and God safeguarding that. God safeguarding your heart and mind, because as He blesses, He has to make sure that you won't take that blessing and make it an idol, and then He
yep.
has to take it away.
Yep,
So
yep.
that's why I love that fact that a man can receive nothing unless it's been given to him from heaven, because that means it's secure in
Yes.
God's vault.
Yes.
All right, guys, we
Let's
love
end
you.
on a happy note.
and-
You guys have a great
day. You have a fantastic day. Drink at least a gallon of coffee today.
Absolutely.
My favorite donut now for this week is a coconut donut. They just
Yes.
brought them out fresh. I grabbed one, and I could not believe the culinary delight of my taste buds. They were celebrating. I mean, it was just a wonderful explosion of joy in my mouth. It was so good. I mean, it was tropical. It was sweet. It was warm. Oh, I love
Let's
it.
not go down that road because we are trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
We'll
For all
stick
you
with the
trying to
coffee.
lose weight, here's what you need to do. Get this out of your system, okay? Go to Dunkin'
Ah.
Donuts, get the donut, eat the donut, get the coffee, okay?
Drink
Start
the
your donut.
coffee.
Start your donut tomorrow. Start your diet tomorrow. Love you guys.
Bye.
You guys ever greedy? I mean, literally greedy in heart. I'm cooking hamburgers. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's pouring rain. I got a fire going, burning boxes, but I decided to give myself 2 slices of cheese. Under this white piece of cheese here, I have, let me see if I can get it. I have yellow cheese too. And that was my burger, and that was the biggest burger of all the burgers. So for myself, I chose the biggest burger with 2 slices of cheese. No one else has 2 slices of cheese, just me. I wonder if that's a correct representation of my heart. Something to think about. You're like, Matt, you like 2 pieces of cheese. You want Swiss and cheddar. You want toasted buns, man, I understand. Yeah, but I need to look deeper. I don't want this hamburger to be revealing who I truly am. I want Christ to be revealing who I truly am. Maybe I'll give my burger to someone else. And when they say, hey, man, there's 2 pieces of cheese on there, I was like, well, see, that's what you get for serving the Lord. Peace.